evening, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me, even without this microphone. I'd like to begin tonight's event by, in a bit of an unorthodox way, I'd like to, first of all, introduce my colleagues in the Armenian National Committee of Cyprus, who after the sad death of our chairman, Aynedjian, have taken over the committee. Let me see if I can track them down. Jaco Kerovlanyan.
Hello.
Karen Kizilyurek. Karen Sarkisyan. And our greatest transfer of the year from Greece, Varteni Kasabyan. They are a bunch of young, professional, educated boys and girls who have been working hard in our committee, and you'll be hearing a lot about them. And I would like you to embrace them every time they come and ask something from you, every time they invite you to an event, or they ask for a contribution, because without your support, our work cannot continue. Having said that, I would like to welcome our Armenian MP, Aynedjian, and his wife, different members of organizations who are here, members of the church committee, a lot of new faces, members of our affiliate organizations, members of and representatives of Armenian organizations in Cyprus. You know, it's not by chance we have chosen today's topic, because it concerns us all. It concerns us as would-be Turkish citizens, if the historical events were different. It concerns us as Cypriots. It concerns us as Armenians, as Armenian Cypriots, and as European citizens. Turkey's reforms and this process of change, well, we've had bitter experience in 1908. We know what followed, and we might be skeptical. And when we hear the word Turkey, there are a lot of different types, both positive and negative emotions that are generated in our psyche. But in order to understand, in order to better understand what really goes on, what we really need to do is to put away our emotions for a second and try and give a cold analysis of what we think is happening. And this is what we're doing tonight. Tonight, we have called one of the experts in the field, Mr. Dr. Niyazi Kizilyurek, who is the head of the Turkish and Middle Eastern Studies of the University of Cyprus. He's a PhD from the University of Bremen. I think you have all seen him. You've read his articles. I don't think he needs special mention. He's a public figure in Cyprus. And in order to better evaluate and find our place in these changes that we hope are taking place in Turkey, we have invited Dr. Niyazi. And we would like to hear his analysis of Turkey after the elections, EU prospects, Cyprus, and minority rights. I invite him.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Dear friends, dear compatriots, I'm really happy to be here with you tonight. I want to thank the Armenian National Committee of Cyprus to organize such an event. You know, we've just finished our semester at the university, teaching a lot of stuff on Turkey. At the beginning of our holidays, when Simon called me to talk on Turkey, I said, I will do this. I just pay attention and pay value to that coming together than anything else. So for me, it's not rather kind of academic analysis or lecture like we do, but it's rather being together and have a discussion, because I believe that we should be more often together. We are communities of Cyprus, and often we have parallel lives and we don't meet enough, I believe. And we try at the University of Cyprus to introduce like the courses on history of communities and different stuff like this. So I really welcome this invitation just to be here with you and start talking about certain things. So I will not give you an in-depth analysis, but rather I will pay attention that we have time to exchange views and communicate here by this very great opportunity I have. So I thank again to the Armenian National Committee of Cyprus. Now, as you know, Turkey had an important election a week ago. I myself, I had on Sunday on the newspaper Politis a long analysis of the Turkey after the election. I will not repeat myself too much, but let's talk about the importance of this election. What made this election so important in Turkey? Some actually named these elections by exaggerating a kind of election of a century. And it is true that the Turkish public opinion paid great attention to that particular election. I don't think so that it was an election of a century, but somehow it was an important election. And the reason is why it's important. It is because the whole election campaign was somehow guided by a strong expression and discussion about the new constitution of Turkey. And it's quite important. So Turkey, tonight we could have titled our conversation here, Turkey in search of a new constitution. Now, why Turkey is in search of a new constitution, which everyone, indifferent from ideological and political party background, actually discusses about that very fact. We need a new constitution for Turkey. Now, of course, one of the reasons is very simple, because Turkey still is run by a constitution imposed to the country by the military after the coup d'etat of 1980. So, of course, by any means, no one can accept to live with a constitution designed and designated and tailored by the military after the election coup d'etat of 1980. But this is one thing. There is another thing which pushes Turkey very much as an outside factor to reform is, of course, the EU-Turkish perspective and relations. We should bear always in mind that Turkey goes through a series of reforms also because the European Union pays a lot of attention to that and actually is pressurizing the country to adjust to certain European liberal norms and values if she wants to have a European perspective. But these are well-known phenomena, and also it is well-known phenomenon that since Ottoman Empire, actually since the Tanzimat reforms of 1830, Turkey was, Ottoman Empire and later Turkey, was reforming itself somehow after foreign pressure. There was always a foreign pressure. And this foreign pressure today is European Union, of course. But what I want to concentrate on today is what is really changing within Turkey, which calls for and invites for a constitutional reform. This internal dynamic of Turkey. What changes on the level of society, community, and state. And this is exactly what we have to look at it. So some of us, scholars dealing with Turkey, we already started using the concept of post-Kemalist Turkey. We are talking about a collapse of the Kemalist regime as it was created in 1923, and we are talking about the collapse and failure of the Kemalist regime the last 10 years, and especially last period of the government of AKP, you know, all this Adalet ve Kalkınma Partisi, or Mr. Tayyip Erdogan. So, AKP is ruling Turkey now for almost 10 years, since 2002. What's happened in these 10 years? And why do we talk of a collapse of a Kemalist regime in Turkey? Is it really collapsed to Kemalist regime in Turkey? Is Turkey getting rid of Kemalist establishment? And if so, is Turkey now becoming a democracy? Is the failure of Kemalism guided with a new democratic value? Is Turkish democracy consolidated? Well, my first list will be, to be very clear about that, I believe Turkey is heading towards a post-Kemalist situation and condition, but it is far too early to talk about the consolidation of democracy in Turkey. So Turkey in search of a constitution, it means Turkey actually in search of a democracy. And this is what's going on in Turkey. Now, what are the main problems? What are the main problems which Kemalist regime in its legacy keeps bothering Turkey? And what Turkey tried to reform, in the democratic sense? Now, to understand the importance of post-Kemalist period in challenges, we have to say a few words about the main features of Kemalist regime. Now, Kemalist regime is established, as you know, 1923, under the leadership of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, turning what remained from Ottoman Empire into a nation state. Into a nation state of a Turkish nation. But not only into a Turkish nation state, but with a totally new understanding of the society. Kemalist regime hence meant a secularistic nation state posing upon the Turkish society a new way of life, which was actually under a totalitarian guidance, trying to make out of population a kind of westernized Turkey, westernized Turkish society, Western